So welcome back to another Gibbs Adventures, and today I'm in at one of my snare dumps, and you can see, or I can see, I got a red fox caught over there. I just got here. That's a deer carcass or deer hide that I had, and they keep chewing on it. That's a fox carcass that I put here 4 days ago, and it's stripped right down to nothing. And I was running light on snares, so I came back today with a bunch of snares. There's my hole, and what I do, every time I come, I put something down the hole and I bury it. And that helps me preserve my bait, because the biggest problem I have with snaring is trying to keep up with the bait. So I'll retrieve that fox and I'll walk around here and check all the rest of my snares. And we'll see what else, if we caught anything else, and I'll rebait my hole. So I brought a beaver carcass and my axe, and I'm going to chop it up and put the pieces in the hole and then bury it in the hole. And then that way there, if something comes, if I do the whole carcass, they run away with the whole carcass. If I do it with pieces, they got to keep coming back and forth to the hole, and the more chances for me to get them on my trail and snare them. So here we go. So just to give you an idea, now I've chopped up that beaver, threw a little bit of guts around for the ravens, but it's all in pieces down that hole. And now I'll cap it off, and then the ravens can't get it, but all the predators will know it's there, and it's natural for them to cache stuff. So when the wolves come, I'll have at least some bait, because that's the hardest thing to do, is maintain your bait all the time. If you run out of bait, then you're going to get a lot less action. So maintaining a good bait supply is critical. And then I chop it up here because all the little pieces give a reason for the ravens to squawk. They don't get all my bait, but they get tidbits. And that way there, I keep ravens are like, you know, when somebody wants to chase a siren all the time? Well, when ravens are squawking, all the other predators know there's something going on, so they come to have a look. So, and this area I picked specifically because it's got lots of space for the predators to kind of spook around here and have a look. They can see in front of them and whatnot, and so it's what I call an ideal spot. The road is right there, and there's a fork in the road, so that's why I picked this spot. So location. So I'll just show you why I like the longer snare. So there's my ambush point. With the longer snare, they're way over here, so I can easily reset. I just have to replace the snare, and away I go. The spot that the narrowed down spot that I was wanting to trap at, no problem. I just take my cable cutters, cut the wire, and pick up my catch, and away I go, and reset a snare and on to the next one. So that's one of the reasons why we really like the longer cables with the swivels. And entanglement is not the issue so much as getting them, you know, a proper head catch. And that's a nice neck catch on that one. So right on. So I look for a natural pinch point when I set a snare. Then the first thing I do is drill a hole in the tree, slightly smaller than the diameter of my wire, and I have a roll of wire. I thread the end in, take my pliers, I push my wire right into the tree. I come out as far as I think I need the support. I can trim that back if I want. I grab a snare out of my pouch here. I unravel it. I like to set it up high on the tree, so when the animal goes to pull on it, he's at a disadvantage. And I can quickly take my snare support, open up my snare, And there we go. It's set. So you can see my loop and everything, my support. I anchor it high, so when he pulls himself from a disadvantage, and away I go. And then my snare is way over there, my dump. And I make these little trails like this for them to kind of sneak around. And they like to kind of check it out. The further they are away from the bait, the more confidence they have. And I'd rather have a high snare from the ground than a low one to try to avoid the bad catches. So there you go. I take my clothespin, that's how I mark my set. Anchor it on a tree and everything. Because if you don't mark your snares, you're going to forget them. So you should always keep track of how many snares you have out. Write it down. And the general location, because if you get a foot of snow, it doesn't take long for everything to be buried.